Good morning, everyone, and good evening if you're in Europe or England or wherever. So 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's the 20th of January. We're into the weekend here in New Zealand, so that's kind of cool. So I hope you all have a good weekend, and it's kind of fun watching the tracker. In fact, I'm really quite enjoying it because there's a lot of unexpected issues with boats being in a classic racing positions and boats not doing what we might expect them to do. So it's fun to watch. And even Explorer managed to average 9.5 knots for a 4-hour period overnight, and they're still moving. So that's kind of cool. Nothing specific to report from the tweets other than the fact that they're all having a nice time. They're starting to see albatross now and all that sort of stuff, and temperatures are dropping and all kind of cool. So Jane will get those tweets up later on, and we're getting some material off the boats as well, sound clouds and bits and pieces. So all is good. So we'll get straight into, oh, hang on a sec. We go straight into this one here. Yes, and sounds good. So I come across and we'll look at that. There you go. Explorer's flying now in perfect weather. They got it on the port quarter, doing 8.4 knots. They slowed down a bit. They were averaging 9 knots in the last 4 hours, and before that it was 9.5 knots over the period. 211-mile day, not too bad. So enjoying the ride. And to give a perspective again, distance behind, I was using Sterner as the benchmark because they're a similar sort of boat, bow to bow. Sterner's come around a bit, 440 miles. So we use that as a 450-mile delay to the back of the fleet. And we'll see what happens over the next weeks leading to Cape Horn, whether they can catch up or whether they lag behind again. Anyway, all is good there. And this is the amazing part. The fleet here now is really quite fascinating. I thought we'd actually lost off the tracker Penduic, but she's actually right underneath Maiden. They're neck and neck. Penduic made a tactical move to get south as quick as they could, which was a good idea. In fact, we'll just talk a bit of an overview before we do the individual statistics. You know what's going on. You can see the center of the high up there, and Helsinki are absolutely on the loser at the moment. I have no idea why they're holding so high. They mustn't be able to talk to the other boats. If for instance, they'd be thinking, "What's going on? Why are we so far north and everyone's down there?" They got sucked up in there with some of the other boats with the wind to keep sailing in the light winds a few days ago, and they're not in a good position now. So I think you're going to see them lose out even more over the next. Maybe 5 or 6 days when they're under the influence of the high here. So that's not a good position for them. 2 boats did a big dive south. One was Penduic, and you can just see her underneath Maiden there. They decided to sacrifice forward speed towards the Cape Horn to get south, and that was a smart move, I think you'll see them now slowly pull away using their waterline length and power to slowly crawl back into some sort of lead position. Avrika doing the same. You can see that. Guys, why are we up here? Let's go south. So they're just diving south now, making the most of it. They'd obviously prefer to be headed towards Cape Horn, but to get south is just as important. It's fascinating now. You see Outlaw pretty much at the back of the fleet. Usually you would have expected it to be mid-fleet. It's still early days. They haven't been out a week yet, but a week's still a long time. And I would have thought certain boats are in different positions. Check out White Shadow, just behind Penduic. In fact, only a little bit behind Penduic after 6 days of sailing. So that's pretty cool. And down here, you've got Neptune. Triana's still performing really well. Triana's basically right behind Translated. And Translated's been doing all the right things so far. They haven't made any mistakes. They're in a good position. They're actually, ironically, it's a no-brainer. They're just on the run line. You can't lose if you stick to that. So it's been a very interesting first sort of week to see what's going on. I find it really exciting because everyone's in the hunt now, and it says a lot about the types of boats we're using. For the production boats in adventure class and Sailor class, they're having a real tussle now. Everyone's getting to know their boats more. Sterner, sadly, broke their inner forestay, but it doesn't seem to be holding up at the moment because the wind is all on the quarter or after the beam. And I haven't heard exactly what they've done to jury rig that inner forestay. Plenty of expertise on board, to get it done. And I think they will have had material on board to make that a repair because they've been aware of potential problems from leg one when they had issues with rigging. So anyway, it doesn't seem to be holding them up. They're all going pretty well. So the individual statistics, we'll start off over here with Spirit of Helsinki doing 5.9 knots because they're simply in the wrong spot. Only did 132-mile day. Now, they must be bleeding something fierce. And when we look at the weather going forward, it's not as if they will have a forecast that's suggesting this is a smart tactical move. I think they're sucked into this position and they don't want to sacrifice heading south, but they're going to need to do something or they will keep losing out for the next few days. The Spree to keep in an okay position, 7.3 knots. At least they've got breeze. But again, getting south is pretty important. 155-mile day, 8th in line on us. So I should bring this up. Spirit of Helsinki, then 9th in line on us. That's unheard of. So pretty interesting. Evrika, 6.8 knots, 124-mile a day in the right direction. But they're sailing quite well and they've got breeze and they know how important it is to get down there. So that's cool. Outlaw lagging behind for sure, but they're now on 8.1 knots and 185-mile day, so they're on the move. They just didn't get a very good start. Sterner, 7.8 knots. That's pretty cool. 191-mile day, making ground, heading in the right direction. Galliano with Secure, 8.1 knots, 163-mile day, so they must have gone slow somewhere in the last 24 hours. And then we've got Neptune, 8.8 knots, right on top of Triana. Triana's the Swan 53, and Neptune's like 60-footer. So, but anyway, Triana first in IRC, second in line on us. That's a pretty cool claim to fame after 6 days out. So second in line on us, first in IRC, and first in adventure class. They won't know some of that, but they'll know they're doing really well, and they'll know that they, right up there at the front. So Triana, again, doing amazing things. Translated 9, first in line on us, second in IRC, and first in flyer class, 8.4, 180-mile day. And White Shadow, look at that. That's very impressive for these guys, 8.5 knots, sixth in line on us, but you can see there's not a lot in the positioning. And third in IRC. Third in IRC is the big one, so no question there. You can see, if I pick it up, you can see Penjuic was hiding underneath Maiden there, but now they're doing 8.7 and Maiden is doing 8.5, so 0.2 of a knot difference, and they will be looking at each other quite closely. Let's just have a look at this. Let's see how far apart they are. This will be fun for both of them. Maiden will be booming, like thinking, hey guys, keep it on, the pressure's on. Oh, there we go. 1.5 miles. Now 1.5 miles, just about, they'll see the smile on the faces at that distance. That's nothing. They'll be having a great time. So long may it last, and well done girls, and well done Penjuic. I mean, at least they realised they need to be down there, and they sacrificed, as I said. So that's pretty cool. Come back here. Let's see. I think we've covered off on. Everyone. Yes, we have. So I'll pull the fleet down again, and we'll look at the weather going forward. I think we can look at the whole fleet, including Explorer, not that far behind, and keen to have parties in Punta by the look of it. It's another theory. And no, we don't want that. So okay. So what's going to happen to the weather? I'll pull it one more. So you can see there's the influence of this big high. Okay, anything else around? No, it's all a bit of a mix. They're coming to the end of, when they get down to this level, they're coming to the end of the influence of this high sitting on the top, and there's two pressure systems either side. So going forward, that, and we should be right. It's not doing what it's meant to do. Okay. Yes, okay, we're pushing forward now. Hang on, sorry. I want to take it from 1730. All right, so going forward, it's still simply under the influence of that high pressure system. Explorer's still got breeze. They've all got more of the same. It's getting a bit stronger and so on. And there's going to be some fast sailing. You can see there the tight pack of the fleet down the bottom. They're going to have, quite solid breeze. I've got to get used to the colours here. This screen's not as good, but that's going to be 28, 30 knots, gusting up to 40, I reckon. 28, 30, gusting 40 within within the next 12 hours for those that are down south, and then it's going to drop off again and go light. But they'll get a kick compared to the guys up the top, Spirit of Helsinki and L'Esprit de Keep. And then it goes light. So they're going to have light winds for the rest of the day. So no, a bit of a mixed bag. So I reckon instead of 200-mile days, they're going to do 150, 180, something like that. Explorer's got plenty of breeze pushing through. They'll be progressing forward by that stage, so they won't be in the thick of that, but they'll be down here with a nice breeze to push them south and keep them rolling. And she'll close the gap a little bit because she's got solid winds when they go quiet at this level. So she might pick up another 40 miles on Sterner and so on. And then at that stage, we were watching this, but there's nothing to suggest a big one. That's through to the 23rd. So 3 days from now, by then they'll be down here further and a big kick, and then the rest of the fleet will be over here. So they're going to go quiet a bit. In fact, we'll just look at this. So we'll see how far they would have gone. So there it is there. That's 3 days ahead. So that's actually about 500 miles. 500 miles on the fleet. It's going to put them. Yeah, they'll still be following it through here. So an Explorer could be doing okay at that stage. They'll miss this calm bit, this soft bit. So Explorer could pick up in the next 3 days, could pick up a bit of distance towards the main pack. Anyway, no surprises, plenty of good sailing. It's just all typical classic Southern Ocean stuff. And they get slowly getting down. They're at 45 degrees south, which is, they're in the roaring 40s, heading towards the furious 50s. And they'll be, moving quite well, making good speed. So that means, why is it doing this? That means if we look at this, Cape Horn will come into view by late end of next week, and making good time towards Punta. So what's happening on the leaderboard, just to show you IRC mainly, line honours is a bit of a mix-max. A lot of them are very close to line honours, so there's not a lot in it if you look at the distances. But nonetheless, translated is number one in line honours, Triana, a little bit behind, only 20-odd miles behind. And then Penjuic. It's saying Penjuic is third in line honours. That's it. So then Maiden must be right on top of it. Maiden and Penjuic are showing exactly the same distance to the finish, 5.347, 5.347. But they're obviously just a half a fraction there. So they're all on. No, that's amazing. Okay, so they're really close. Neptune, a few miles behind, White Shadow, Galliano with Secure. So there's very little distance in it between line honours and back of the fleet. So amazing to see them grouped so closely. On IRC, this will be a different story. So Triana on 39 days, 7 hours, and translated 9 is actually about 20 hours behind or something like that. So the Triana got a 20-hour jump on translated. Then White Shadow's there, third on 41 days. So they're 2 days behind Triana. All kind of cool. Galliano with Secure is next. Very close, only 2 hours behind White Shadow. And then Neptune is a day or so after that. So it goes. So all kind of fun. And it's a real boat race at the moment. So that's enjoyable for people watching. Anyway, let's go back here and come back here and see what's happening in the comments. I'm getting some really good questions, actually, by the way. And we posted our usual weekly Q&A opportunity. If you've got a question, you can actually put it on the comments and we'll get to it. But yeah, there's some quite cool questions there. So if you're into that, I'll probably do that tomorrow. It's Sunday. We're sorting out freight and stuff today and then packing bags tomorrow, and then we're gone. And Lutz is going to take over. We'll actually do the Sunday night tracker. That's Monday morning for us here. So I'll do the Sunday night tracker, and then Lutz will be doing Monday night and Tuesday night for Europe. So that's cool. Okay, Tara, looking forward to the tracker tonight. Please, I matched you with Coronation Street on TV. Coronation Street, you're kidding me? My mother, 55 years ago, used to watch that show. Anyway, love listening to the radio calls of the boats today. Yeah, they're cool. Keep an eye on the SoundCloud. We only usually share one a day, sort of, but you can get to all of them from the website. Just go on to day by day, or you'll see on the boxes. There's bunch of boxes. You scroll down on the opening page, hit that, and you will go straight to the SoundClouds, and they're quite fun. A lot of good stuff happening there. So that's cool. Rob, morning, Don. Explorer's smashing it. Yep, absolutely. 9.1 VMG. No, they've been up to 10 knots in the second league, I think it was. So they can actually move when they want to. So that's kind of okay. Nigel Burton, hi for UK. Deep is this computer? Still not as good as the last one. Heard someone pulled their shoulder out. Ouch. I haven't seen that. I'll have to look at that. Love these updates. Cool, Judy. Go Maiden. Yeah, Maiden are right up there with Penjuic. They'll be having a ball today. Just imagine it. Sailing alongside. Boom, boom. So that's pretty cool. The VHF will be going nuts between the two of them. Tapio's birthday yesterday. Oh, we missed his birthday. I wonder how old Tapio was. Ooh, okay. We're getting busy here still. So, sure, it looks like Simon is weaving his tactical magic again, making sure they're staying straight and fast. It's absolutely right. For those that don't know, if you're following the weather and going this way, that way, this way, Simon's a great fan of going straight for the mark as long as they can keep optimizing boat speed. So that's part of it. But they've got a lot of good people on board. Nico's on there and experienced crew. Marco is also on board. I hope he's feeling okay. He should be. Annie, a key ultimate challenger now in South Africa. Hard to believe, eh? A week or something and they're down through the Atlantic. That's the ultimate challenge. Pretty cool. There's a chance they will sail all together little time. Yeah, exactly. They should be down in the similar latitudes by the time they pass. So we'll do a comparison there and see what's going on. Big speeds for sure. Jonathan, do you get tired of folks thanking you for this amazing coverage and your commitment to bringing us these incredible events? Thanks anyway. No, I never get tired of it. We enjoy it. And, it's something that we hoped would happen. Hard to believe it's happening. And now we're talking about, within everyone here, we're talking about the fact that it'll be over soon. Hard to believe, everyone's sailing home and it's like one leg 3, and that'll be over in weeks. And then all of a sudden it's a short stop over in Punta, but it'll be a fun one. And then all of a sudden, weeks later, it'll be over and back in the UK. So air temperatures, I didn't get that. But I reckon they'll be down to low teens by now. Yeah, low teens. And it's going to get colder. It'll get into the single digits, going around Cape Horn this time of the year could get down to about 5, 6, 7 degrees. It'll depend on where the wind's coming from. Obviously, if there's a southwesterly, you're hooking it up from Antarctica and it can drop way down. It can go down to 2 or 3 degrees. But if it's a nor'wester and it's coming out from the Pacific, depending on the size of the pressure system, then it can go back to sort of, 12 degrees, 13 degrees. It just depends. They can get snow, they can get anything. It all depends on the weather. And generally, it's quite benign at the moment. So we're still lucky with this whole thing, touch wood, fingers crossed. So all good. Anyway, that's about it. We'll see you all tomorrow. We'll probably answer the questions sometime tomorrow because there's already quite a bunch there. So if you do have a specific technical question or anything like that, get onto the Facebook post below this one and go for that. Also, hey, just remember to we're running about 18,000 people that have liked GGR, not GGR, OGR. And it should be a lot more because of the people that are putting emotions up. There's less than 25% have actually liked our page. So if you haven't liked the page yet, please do, or whatever. It just helps us to show the real coverage because we, on the numbers they're suggesting there's 40,000 people at times coming in to look at our Facebook page, but we've only got 18,000 likes. And Instagram's booming. We're up to 9,000 on there. Not huge, some of the sites, but 9,000 is okay. Some of our bigger posts on Instagram have hit 90,000 views, which is fun. So if you're not on the OGR Instagram page, you might want to have a look. There's a lot of stuff going up there. Jane pushes things on there every now and then. She's happy. So have a good weekend, eh? See you later. Bye-bye.